Genshin Impact bot is up and running. And if we want to, for example, change the activity display, I have Genshin Impact running in the background just for the sake of, you know, Genshin Impact. Boom, you are muted. And we're doing a very, 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 very fun project. Today I'm gonna teach y'all how to make an anti-Genshin Discord bot. Now, if you guys been on my channel, or probably not, but I made this project like a while ago, and the code was like really bad because it was like one of the first projects I made. But I decided to go back, refactor it, make it a little bit more, optimized and like convenient, intuitive, whatever. And today I'm gonna teach y'all how to make one of your own. So what you need is you're gonna need to download Python and PyCharm, which is gonna be the IDE. Any IDE would really work. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna use PyCharm. If you don't know how to install that, I'll leave a link in the description. It's gonna be a tutorial. First thing you want to do is pull up Discord developer portal. It's gonna be like the first like results in Google right here, right? Discord developer portal. Just search up Discord developer portal, and then you click this link, and then you're gonna be brought to this page with developer portal, and you're gonna have applications teams. This entire UI. You want to click new application, and you want to just create an application, create it whatever name you want. It doesn't matter. Genshin or tutorial bot or something. And then you said you agreed to that. You already created one for the tutorial. Once you click on it, you're gonna have this general information. There's a few things you need to do. So this is gonna be your bot. This is where you can change the profile picture and the username. One thing you want to do is first you want to get the token of the bot down in the bot section. So you want to go down to token, click reset token. Yes, do it, and then click that. It's gonna prompt you to enter your password. As you can see, this long string here is gonna be your token. Just click copy, store this somewhere. Make sure it's private. Do not share this with anyone else. I'm gonna reset the token later, so it doesn't even matter if you guys see it or not. Alright, so once you have your bot token stored somewhere safe, you want to go to the sidebar, click OAuth to URL generator. You want to take bots administrator, copy this link. This is gonna be your invite link to invite your bot to a server. So you want to add your server, click continue, whatever. And yeah, oh yeah, and one more thing, go down to your bot, make sure these 3 privilege gateway intents are enabled. Presence, server members, just take all these things right here, make sure those are enabled. Alright, so now we can get to the coding part. So first we need to install the Discord library. If you have PyCharm, then you can go to File, Settings, Projects, Python server, and then click this plus button and search up Discord py, and then just discord.py, not bad. And then you install that. Make sure you're using Python 3.10 because Discord py has like a different, they changed their library for like a certain version of Python. Also, if you can install it using pip, you just do if you have pip, then it's not here, but pip, you can do pip install discord.py. But and now they have everything installed. First you want to import Discord, next you want to import JSON, next you want to import random, and then finally you want to do from Discord ext import commands. This is like an extension. And then first when you set up the intents, and then you want to set intents.members equals true. This is not really necessary because we already kind of set up the. I don't know if this is necessary because we already set up the intents in the Discord bot developer portal, but I'm just gonna do it just in case. So next we want to configure the client, which is gonna be commands.bot, and we're gonna set a command prefix, which is gonna be the symbol that you use before your command. For me, I'm just gonna use the $sign. You can use anything. Like the exclamation mark, probably not the @ because that's like the mention thing. You can do a hashtag maybe, but just most common ones is either a period, a dash, exclamation mark, %, dollars. Actually, I don't know about %, but just do anything really. And then we're gonna set the intents equals the intents that we set up and pass those intents in. And then we have to create a config directory, and we're gonna set that up right now. So what you want to do is go to your project, right click, and then click new directory, and you're gonna set up to config. Just call it config. Inside the newly created config directory, right click, new file, call it config.json. If you guys don't know what a JSON file is, a JSON file in short, is kind of a storage. This is where we're going to store all of our like nicknames, responses, basically all the information from the bot. And we're going to set this up later, but first we're going to set it to the directory config/config.json. Make sure the json.json extension is in the file. Next, we're going to create a variable for our token. Now, this is where we're going to store your token. I'm not going to store it just yet, but basically just put your token here. And now we're going to load the configurations from the JSON file. So we're going to create a function called loadConfig, and inside this function, we're going to open our config directory. Open our config directory, and we're going to open it as read. So we're going to read from that file, and then we're going to return our JSON, and then we're going to set a separate variable called config and set it to the method. So we're going to call this variable, we're going to kind of like use its variables every time in like different events, so we can constantly have an updated information of the bot. Now the next part is we're going to have to create the events and the commands for our bot. So Discord has like two main headers, and the headers are marked by like an @ symbol. So there's client.event, and there's also client.command. So an event is basically automatic. The bot is going to just listen for an event. It's like automatic. You don't have to like manually input anything. It's going to trigger on any event like a message sent or a role update or a presence update. A command is just the commands that you type in. It's going to activate functions that you type in command. For example, if you have, let's say, insert command here, and then whatever your context is, that's going to trigger the client command. But our first event's gonna be a client event, and we're gonna create a method on here called onReady. This is just going to let us know if our bot has successfully logged in or not. Logged in as client.user. And then we're gonna create another client event. And this is going to be on message. This is a built-in Discord key. This is a built-in Discord event, and we're going to pass in the message. This is a built-in Discord method, which is going to automatically listen, or which is automatically going to trigger on every message sent. So if message.author equals client.user, we're going to get the user, which is going to be the message author, and then if our message author is the bot itself, we're going to return, which means we're going to ignore the message because we don't want the bot to trigger its own, systems. And we're going to load the config, reload the config for every message that's sent, and then we're going to get the message content, and we're going to lower it, so we're going to like normalize the message details. And now we're going to have to check if any of the message is in the filter words. So the way we do that is first we're going to go to config, JSON, and we're going to set up the JSON file. So a JSON file is kind of like a giant dictionary. I said it previously. We're going to have two curly braces, and you're going to we're going to have 4 different categories, and we're going to have a role name category. This is going to be the role name that you want the mute role to be. And the way that a JSON or a dictionary works is it follows a key and then a value. So we can access the value by calling the key. We can access like whatever data we need in here by calling the key or the ID that represents it. So the role name is going to be, for me, it's going to be called Genshin Player, but you can have it whatever you want. And then we're going to have filter words, and we're going to pass it in as a list. So we're going to put in multiple filters. So like for example, Genshin, Primo Gem, this is going to trigger, this is going to be what your bot filters out. Then we're going to have a nicknames, which is going to be what your bot will give like the user a nickname. Yes, so we're going to have Genshin Player, and we'll just have impact player. I don't know, you can add optional like needs a shower or something just for jokes. And then responses, we'll have no Genshin players allowed or something, just whatever your bot wants to say to the player. If like it triggers, you can say something goofy like honestly it doesn't really matter. This entire project's kind of weird. My bad, bro. Alright, and now we're gonna have to detect whether or not the person has said something offensive, which is like said and they relate to Genshin Impact or like whatever's in your filter words. The way we do that is we're going to check if any word inside message and for word in config, and then we're going to pass in, we're going to call the filter words category. So that's going to loop through every single word in here, and if any of these words are in the message, which is a string object, then we're going to execute whatever's down here. And the first one is going to be, we're going to designate the mute role. So this is going to get the mute role, and if the role exists and not message dot author guild permission. So this is going to exclude admins, and then we're going to use the await keyword. The await keyword is basically a response from the bot. So anything that's anything you want the bot to respond with or like do in response to like an event is going to be an await like thing. Wait, it's going to be using the await keyword. So first, we're going to edit the role of the author. So this is going to strip every role except for like the mute role. And this one is going to assign a random nickname. Alright. And this is just going to send a random response from to the channel that the offending message was in. And then we're going to optionally add a mention, because I like to make things more personal. And then finally, we're going to add this little function down here, which is called process command. So we're passing a message, because the onMessage event actually is like running at all times, and if we don't have this line right here, the bot can't listen to other events, so our other methods won't work, because this one has the onMessage event is basically overriding all the other methods. All right, and now we will create a client command, my bad. So now this is going to be a command, and we're going to implement one command. This one is going to be to update the role whenever you need, like in case you change the role name or you want to add a new role, I guess, then you can use this command. And we need to make sure whoever can execute this command has the proper permissions, aka is an admin, and can manage the roles. And we're going to call it update role, and we're going to pass in the context and then new role name config. We're going to load the config again, and then we're going to set the role name equals to the new role name. Simple. And then we're going to have to write that to the JSON file, because right now, we have to open it. This time we're going to open it as W, which is write, and then we're going to dump it to the JSON file. So we're going to save the changes, and then we're going to print out or send a confirmation. There we go. And for reference, if you want to call the command, it's going to be your function name. You can also have an alias, which is going to be an alternative name you can use for your command. Like, I don't know, role, change, role, add role, change role, something like that. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm not going to have an alias. So now we're going to create another command, and this one is going to be add something to the filter. So we're going to use the same header client.command, and we're going to make sure you have the permissions, but this time it's going to be manage messages. So if you have like moderator and you want like a mod to add something, it doesn't matter. And we're going to do the same async function. We're going to call it add filter. We're going to pass in the context, that's and the word, and we're going to again reload the config, and we're going to check if the word is already not in the filter words. Then we're going to add it to the filter words. And then we're going to have to write it back to the main directory, to the main JSON. And then we're going to send a confirmation. Oh, why does that keep happening, bro? It's so annoying. I really need to get used to, like, using one type of quotation, because this is really bad. And if the word is already in there, then we're going to print out a warning saying that the word is already in there. Or we don't really need that, but there we go. Alright, and now we're going to create another command, and this one is going to be able to remove the word in case you mess up and you want to remove something. Then you can do this. It's gonna have the exact same like header, and surprise, surprise, this is gonna be called remove filter, and we're gonna pass in pretty much these exact same parameters. And we're gonna load the config again, make sure it's ready. So if the word is inside the config this time, so checking that it's actually something you can remove, then we will remove it. Move word lower. And then we're going to have to save the changes to the main directory. And then we're going to dump it again, like that. Print out confirmation, saying word removed from filter. Perfect. And then else, if the word is not in there, then we have to say word wasn't found. Also, make sure to have proper punctuation because you have to show that you're actually literate. I'm joking, but now we're creating another command, and this is going to have the same. I mean, at this point you can just copy and paste it, but whatever. I like typing. So this is going to be add a response, so it's going to add any response you want. And response, whatever the response is, and then we're going to follow the same exact format as literally the other methods or functions. Else. There we go. And now finally, this is the fun part. This is where you have your bot detect whether or not the person's actually playing Genshin Impact. And if they are, then you hit him with the ban. I'm joking. Nah, you mute him. Or I mean you can make it so like the person is banned. But this can be a client event because it is automatic, and we're gonna call. And this is gonna be using another built-in Discord method. Pretty sure all the events are actually built in, but it's gonna be on present update, like this exactly. It's gonna have to be like exactly like this. Do not try to change it to anything else. And we're gonna pass it to previous current, and we're gonna get the role again. And then we're gonna set the game name. Technically, you can make this work for like any game or any activity. So if you don't like someone who plays Fortnite, you can automatically ban them if they play Fortnite, or like, you know. But for this case, we're gonna do Genshin Impact because nobody likes people who play Genshin Impact. I'm joking. They're chill sometimes, but so we're gonna check if the current activity and the current activity name. I can't spell. Oh my god, I can't spell. Name lower matches the game, and if it does, we're going to hit him with the mute or ban. So this is going to remove all the roles except for the main role. And else, now if you wonder why I have if I'm implementing whatever I'm doing right now, I will say that when I first made this script, I took the method here, this method, the code for this method, straight out of Stack Overflow, and for some reason it didn't work if I try to remove this. Now, I don't know if that's the case now, but just in case, I will keep it there. It doesn't seem to break anything or, do anything extra. So, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Make our bot run. So, we just simply type in client.run and we'll pass in our token. And with that, boom, you have your bot. All right, there is one typo I made in line 63, if you followed my format, where it's on the remove filter header, I put manage message instead of manage messages. So make sure you fix that. And if we run it now, there we go, it works. And if it works correctly, you should get the name of your bot. And yeah, now let's show it in action. Functionalities include, for example, if you want to add Genshin or something, you will get muted again, and it'll call needs a shower or whatever. See, that's a funny little thing, and it's going to mention a little fun little message, right? And to up to, never mind. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, that is added. If you want to add a word to filter, you can add add filter, I don't know, another word, I guess. There we go, add filter. You check the configs right here. As you can see, there is the format has changed a little bit, but you can see the word is added and the responses are added. And if you want to remove it, now if I try remove filter, another word, I should actually list. There we go. Now we check the config. As you can see, remove another word is actually gone from the area. This is a testing I implemented in testing, and you can do that with any other command.